father-owned business for nearly 40 years here as well, so I just think that, I've supported the community, and I think it's about time they support me.
Okay. They all have the information. Is there any questions from council? Councillor Cook?
Well, I guess I sit on the committee of adjustments, and we did approve the zoning amendment as it was brought to us. But we didn't feel that it was in our position to waive the fees at that particular point. We thought it should come back to council to discuss whether the fees are waived. It's my own personal opinion that we should look at waiving the fees for this particular item. This is another venture to strengthen and revitalize our Main Street in Grand Bend. We did the same thing for Brad Oakey when he did his renovation. Might either may have been an offset in that case, but I think we have to look at where the potential is going to come for this particular project. So I'd like to see us move forward and make an adjustment for this particular case and waive the fee.
Okay. Councillor Russell? Question. I guess we're debating anything else for the delegation.
Yeah.
Into the report.
Yeah, we're almost ready to do the report by Councillor Cook. So through you to Councillor Cook, do you understand, Matt, what Councillor Cook was saying about the committee of adjustment and how they could make that legal determination so they send it to council? So the whole committee felt
very kind in helping us move it forward into this point in time. So.
The whole committee felt that way is what you're saying.
Councillor Blumstein?
I just want to ask Matt, are you aware, Matt, that the Economic Development Task Force has identified parking in Grand Bend as an issue? And it's gone on now to the Economic Development Committee, so it is identified as an issue. And in terms of the other, it's not always apples and apples. There were mitigating circumstances on that other decision that I won't get into. So it's not quite the same.
I'm not suggesting that it needs to be either. So,
Okay. Deputy Mayor Day?
Yes, just through you, Mr. Levin. I'm just wondering, I'm not sure if you, I'd like to know your understanding on something. I know that from my understanding, this policy was put in place because of the typical arrangement of restaurants that they have to take care of their own parking, right? So they have to purchase land, they'd have to pave it, they'd have to maintain it, they'd have to do everything with regards to that. And unfortunately on Main Street, there's limited parking outside of municipal property. And so we have to invest significant amounts of money in purchasing parking lots and maintaining and paving those and things too. And so if you were in another setting, no doubt you would have to pay a considerable amount for parking. And now you can just rely on us. And it seems that this operation, this restaurant, is going to be able to bring in quite a bit more clientele because of its change of location, and it has the advantage of that. And so I think just wondering if you appreciate what the municipality is doing for you by providing you parking, and then there's a financial need that we have to recoup our costs. And yes, we do have some parking revenues that come in, but we do have some shortfall in that as well. And it did seem to me kind of a reasonable thing to not be onerous to you or the other restaurant owner by paying it all at once and being able to spread it over 3 years as a cost of business. And then we'd be able to still meet our financial needs as well. Just wondering if you have some thoughts on that, because it's a typical cost of doing business to provide parking. In other places, there's quite extensive amounts of land are required for parking.
yeah, but I'm not so sure is that in every small town in Hampshire Shores.
We do pay, we do have requirements in Forest, of course, that in other places there's very limited demand, right? And so the restaurants I think of in Arcona have possibilities of parking that's not municipal land to either personal parking or
no, I
others.
understand that.
So it's a little different in Grand Bend because it's such high intensity of parking required at certain times. So it's just, I have a bit of a reservation letting this go because we might find ourselves in a worse position financially if we're not taking in enough revenue to cover the costs that we have to pay for parking for the businesses on Main Street.
But so is an empty Main Street with a bunch of empty stores. That's my point, it's such an exorbitant cost that we have to try and absorb and try and get back in 3 months of the year that, like I stated in my letter, there's quite a number of buildings for sale on the main street. And even ones that were waived are now up for sale because they couldn't do it, so.
Okay.
It's a substantial investment we have to make in order to get the door open. And like I say, if I have my own parking spot, at least I have the spaces. I don't even get anything for the 10 grand. I don't have any physical space that, if I could get 10 spaces from the town, I'd be happy to pay 10 grand. If I could have the 10 spaces at the front of my store designated for my location, I'd be happy to pay that $10,000, but I don't get anything for that. I pay a substantial amount of taxes because I have a building on Main Street, so significantly more than most people pay per square foot. So it's offset by that.
Although we will provide parking for you, right? Maybe it's not right in front of your establishment, but in every case, either on the road or in a municipal parking lot,
Yeah,
we will provide
yeah.
it. We will provide it for you. So there's a privilege, I guess, a
Yeah.
privilege for you as well.
Okay. Anyone else? Councilor Russell?
Just a quick one, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know, are you a member of the chamber?
No.
Did you know that the chamber, as part of looking at this, have recommended, sort of similar to what you said,
Right.
in their report to us was is that if there was some form of payback,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
there were certain spots, they didn't mention 10.
No,
They
no.
were different, but anyways, it's similar,
Exactly.
just so you understand that.
Yeah.
So the chamber working on your behalf, even though you're not a member, they have been looking at it, and I think that's why we've got 6 reports in front of us on this issue tonight.
Sure.
I think there's a lot of up for discussion, I think, in terms of this one. So I just wanted to know if you knew.
Okay. Thanks for your information. You want to deal with the report now, or you want to deal with it when it comes up through the minutes? We'll move on to the next topic.
I guess I have a problem, the planner's not here.
Planner's report is.
Yeah, the report is, but I had a couple of questions for the planner that might have been helpful. I just want, do you know how they determine the formula?
That was
I mean,
determined
it
a
was,
number of.
it was an engineering company that determined the
It's
formula.
based on the seating capacity of the
Goes on the-
facility.
Goes on the seats in a restaurant, it's a standard planning formula.
It's not unusual.
I just wanted, 10 seems excessive to me, for the size of the building. I just thought 10 seemed, you already have 6, but you have 2 per store, right? And so,
One per store, so there's
One per
4, they're designating 4 that I can provide already.
right.
There's gonna be 10.
Council confirmed their policy last June. So, okay. Deputy Mayor Day?
Just in support of Doug Lonsdale's question there, I think that's a very good point. I mean, I do not know if the square meter calculations that Dylan gave to us is actually realistic or reasonable. It hasn't been considered, when we reaffirmed the policy, it was not considered at that point in time. But, the planner's not here to discuss that, unfortunately.
Councilor Underwood?
Yeah, my recollection was we went through it like with a fine-tooth comb because of all the different issues when it comes to it, and we came up with a policy which we finally agreed upon. I feel for it, but I gotta stick with the policy, with what we decided last year, and which was, we bled over before we came to this, so I have to stick with it.
Councilor McCray?
If I'm hearing things correctly, this is going to the Economic Development Committee, and it's being reviewed there, it's being reviewed by the Grand Bench for Commerce. Is there an opportunity to defer a decision tonight on this till we hear back from these people and gets a little more information, to take this forward? I honestly think this needs to be revisited.
The chamber has dealt with this, and we had a public meeting dealing with the chamber's recommendation. At that time, council confirmed our policy, which we had in place before. We made an exception to that policy for one business on Main Street, and through that process, we confirmed our policy and went back to the policy that was in place. Now, I'm not sure what the Economic Development Committee is going to